So in the US, you have this very close containerized family that may only consist of, the father, the mother, and the kids. That's it. The grandparents, in many cases, may be out of the picture. The sisters may be out of the picture. The in-laws may be out of the picture. You may see them on holidays and stuff like that, but you won't see them at all. It's a very small, tight-knit, close, protected container in the US. It's really strange. You may never see your cousin, you may never see your sister, your brother. The kids may grow up not really knowing their grandparents, and that's the way it has become. It wasn't necessarily like that a long time ago. Over 20 years ago, I was in the United Kingdom, and they still had very large families back then, and very large family gatherings. And it was good for social interaction. As a kid, it was amazing for social interaction. We knew all our cousins. Obviously we knew our brothers and sisters, but we knew all our cousins. We knew all our aunts and uncles, and we all got along very well together. But as a strange thing has happened in both Western cultures, I believe, is that as technology has progressed and as communication has increased, and we now have this world of instant communication where everybody's friends on Facebook and whatever, and they can send texts to each other. There's no family gatherings anymore in the Western cultures. Nobody hangs out together anymore. That's destructive for this big extended family. So this big extended family in the Western culture becomes very containerized, whereas you may shoot a text or shoot a Facebook message to a cousin or something, but you're not really going to have many interactions with that person. When I was growing up as a kid, I had interactions with all my cousins because we went and we had these parties basically every weekend where everyone would have lunch together and we would hang out and play in the backyard. That's what kids do. That forms a social group which you keep for the rest of your life. But with technology, the bad part about all this instant communication in the Western culture is it's kind of dissolved the need for people to meet in person. So people don't meet in person anymore. And then a lot of it has played into it with these crazy people running around everywhere, has also led to the fact that families have become more constrained and, let's say, smaller and containerized. So now in both the US and the UK cultures, what do you have? You have these really tight-knit families that may only have 3 people in them. They may only have a father, a mother, and 1 kid. And that's it. And all the kid knows is his father, his mother, and himself. That's it. And his school friends, of course, but apart from that, it's a very tight, close-knit community. Not necessarily a good thing, because it takes a lot of people to make life work. This is why I think the Filipino way is best, by the way. It takes a lot of people to make life work. You cannot do this on 3 or 4 people. It takes a family to raise a child. It really does. And in Filipino culture, when your family includes your neighbors and the people down the street and other people in the community you trust, then that's a big family to raise a kid, and that's a big group of people that's going to be helping you out. Whereas, in Western culture, if you need help, what do? We probably pay for it. That's not really right, having to pay for a babysitter and stuff when you should have, a family member that's available to do it. So I would say that Filipino culture is like Western culture was back in the 80s and 90s. Okay, it is much better. Apart from this whole crabs in a barrel situation where one has to pull the other one down, and I don't understand that. I've never been able to understand that, and that's the only toxic part of the culture. But let me just say that if you dig deep enough, I think that every single culture on this planet is going to have some toxic behaviors that you're just going to have to put up with, because that is life and nobody's perfect. Anyway, if you like this video, click down there, like, share and subscribe, and I will talk to you again real soon.